Well, as I said, my name is Irma Olsen. I've been married for going on 34 years. There he is. Even though I wasn't born in Galesburg, I still consider Galesburg my hometown. I'm very proud of Galesburg. I grew up during the time where there were many factories in Galesburg, Malibu, Bro. I grew up on the south side of Galesburg, as you can tell along Factory Row there. I grew up and it was a wonderful time. I can remember many of us thinking, wow, when we get 18, we're going to be able to go work at these factories and we're going to make big money. And not only that, if you were working and had the opportunity to get a job there, you also had good insurance. Real good insurance, good money, good insurance, and we probably were not paying any out-of-pocket expenses for our insurance at that time. I know I wasn't. So we were, very happy. Take your big bucks, go to the big mall. That was the big news, And but then, of course, Galesburg got hit with the economics time where we lost jobs, factories were closing. I know that I think Galesburg was one of the last states or towns to actually get hit hard as hard as we did. And at that time, my husband happened to be one of the ones that got hit by this. His company he used to work at, it originally was Bixby Zimmer, then went to U.S. Filters, then Johnson Screens at the last. In July of 2002, Johnson Screens announced that they would be closing the Galesburg plant, and they would be moving everything that had been in Galesburg to their Minnesota and Virginia plants. This meant the loss of about 48 jobs, my husband's included. And this was during the time Maytag was also had announced their closing, and Bixby, or I should say Johnson Screens, got a little overshadowed because of Maytag. Maytag, of course, having many more thousands of employees. During that time, he was, we had no children, but we had separate insurance. They did offer him, when he got laid off, they did offer him the chance of continuing with his COBRA insurance, but at a very high premium. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced that, but it was more money than we could afford at the time, so we opted not to take it. He had suffered a heart attack in July of the same year that they announced the plant closing. But we opted out of the COBRA insurance payment. He went on to get unemployment benefits. Due to a program the government had, he was able to go back to school, get to working on an education. He actually worked on associates for supervisory in manufacturing field. It took us though several years for him to be able to find a job. He was not able to find anything that was permanent. His unemployment benefits were running out. He had medical problems that had happened that as a result of his heart attack, he developed illnesses and diabetes and so forth from that. We found ourselves in a spot that we didn't know what to do. We had tons of medical bills. He was finally working, and I knew he was going to start this, excuse me. He started working at part-time, well, temporary, full-time at Caterpillar. But he had no health insurance. And of course, his illnesses didn't get any better. We had medical bills. I had insurance that I was able, thank you, I was able to get him on, but they wouldn't cover pre-existing conditions. So you were still struggling with trying to make ends meet. It finally got to the point where we lost our home. So his unemployment benefits ran out, and lo and behold, he finally did get a job. This was, of course, almost 5 years later, 6 years later, he found a job, started working there, and he was working there for about 2 years. Got laid off again, and due to the economy. So there we were again, on unemployment. He had, this time we did take the COBRA, even though we knew it was expensive. We also knew that he couldn't go without health care. With 2 insurances, he needed it. So we took it. We struggled, still are struggling, made it, and then he did get called back for a short period, which was about 3 months, and then he got laid off again. So he gets laid off, and this time we're getting to the point to where, again, his unemployment benefits are about ready to end, and we've got this huge COBRA payment, so we don't have unemployment benefits. What are we going to do? Well, lo and behold, we find out that there is this program that President Obama has come up with called the Recovery Act. So immediately he went to the unemployment office. They said, yeah, you're going to be able to get your unemployment benefits extended. And guess what? There's 65% of your COBRA insurance payment is going to be made for you by the government. I mean, I wanted to scream. I was so excited. I thought, oh my gosh, finally, there's some help for us. So with a 65% COBRA, it was still a hefty payment, but nothing nearly what it was when we didn't have that. And then not only that, we also had the cushion that his unemployment benefits would be extended, and geesh, that itself was a saving grace. And I'm here to tell you, if it hadn't been for that and the help with the insurance, I know we would have been facing the same struggles. If there is such a thing as being grateful that we didn't have any kids, we were, because we didn't have to have our children have to go through this. However, we have adopted nieces and nephews that seem to know that Uncle Stanley's back to work and they can come over. But that's just my story. Thank you.